So I have a question for you, Mozzie, mainly. So you talked about your MAP is 25%, so obviously it's an average. But did you analyze the business impact of having a positive or negative error on the business? The example is if you forecast that there would be much more volume, so your customer will say, okay, I'm going to get more agents in there, and you end up having not that much volume, then the customer might say, yeah, I lost money on this because I bet too many people that day. But if you compare it to having a negative error where you say it's going to be fine today and it's not fine, and so you lose business, did you in some way study this and try to build some sort of metric more related to the business side of things?
Yeah, so it's something that we are aware of. We've not tried to build a metric to kind of tell us what the impact would be. But clearly, if you've got a forecast, if we're over forecasting, then that's the disadvantage of that is that we've got increased or excess costs for our clients. Then on the flip side, like you mentioned, if we under forecast, then we haven't got enough agents to be able to answer all our interactions. And then the problem there becomes the metrics that are typically employed in contact centers, those metrics deteriorate. So clearly, the kind of it's a balance to be that we have to get right. From our point of view, what is the worst outcome? Is it poor customer satisfaction, or is it excess costs for our clients? Now, I mean, where that balance precisely lies, I think we've still got to determine that. We're still very, very early in our forecasting journey. Probably that's something that we'll determine maybe jointly with our customers. Maybe for some customers, are more interested in having higher customer satisfaction scores. Maybe for some businesses, the priority is cost. One of the things that I didn't mention, that I didn't talk about, is scheduling, and again, that factor plays a role there as well, because when you schedule employees, one business might have a goal of reducing cost, whereas another might have a goal of optimizing customer satisfaction scores. So essentially, it impacts not only the forecasting side of things, but also the scheduling side, and the kind of the impact that it has across the entire pipeline is probably very complex to try and determine what's best. Is there a one-size-fits-all for all customers, or do we have to manage that individually? That's something that has to be determined.
Thank you for your talks. They're all really good. My question was to any one of you, actually, but especially interested to hear from Nicola and Dimitri. So obviously with AI advancing as fast as it has been, I even have been using ChatGPT to support me in my own work, so I know how much of a tool that it can be. I'm interested to hear your opinion on how you think AI might affect the job market going forward in the future, in both terms of the opportunities and the threats, I guess, because obviously lots of jobs are going to be created from this technology, but also lots might be lost as well. So I'm just interested to hear your thoughts on that.
That is a great question, and I feel like we could be here for a little while, but we're going to try. Would you like to go first, Nicola? We'll come to you after, Dimitri.
Okay. So I'll just answer that. I think I covered it quite a lot in our presentation, that there are these really good models out there, but they're not going to be working for every single use case. Like, we have got the definite problem that we can't send our client data to ChatGPT. I'm sure that's a problem for a lot of different companies. So there might be some jobs that people are talking about going missing, maybe the people that graphic designers and things with DALL-E. But I think in data science we're doing pretty well. We're pretty safe at the moment.
You heard it here first. Don't panic. Nobody panic. Dimitri.
Yeah, obviously, I think there's lots of concerns where it's all going. I think it will affect the job market, but I think probably different industries differently. Actually, we had this discussion the other day about whether ChatGPT or any other similar generative transformers can be used for generating code, by helping actually developers. It's all about how you put the technology to the best of abilities, right? Whether they actually can help developers to write their codes. And some companies are finding that already taking advantage of that and actually finding that the actual efficiency speed up tenfold. So it's about you want to strike the balance, especially at which levels you're applying this approach. If it's, for instance, the juniors, you want to make sure that somebody actually proofreads the code after, make sure they still learn how to write the best code. So it's a trade-off between efficiency and quality, right? Other than that, from where it's going, I think, as Nicola said, we cannot probably send all our data at the moment, the concerns. So in the current state, these models may not be for everybody, especially for businesses like ours, like CCAS, where we put a lot of emphasis about our customers' data security. But and I think this is where it's going to go, I think the direction will be for these models to become smaller and smaller, so people can actually can train them themselves and deploy in their backend, in their infrastructure.
Okay, thank you.
Amazing, thank you very much. I'm going to jump in with one quick question, and then we'll come to the front row. I'll come to you, Chris, if that's all right. And it kind of follows on. I thought it was super interesting how quickly Connect One was adapting, reviewing, testing new technologies. Muzzy's obviously working on a proof of concept as well. You're clearly moving at a fast pace as an organisation. I just wondered, perhaps, Chris, if you could tell us a little bit what that looked like. When did you start looking at Whisper? What was the process? What was the support within the company? Could you just tell us a bit about how fast you're moving and what that's like at Connect One?
Yeah, we're always moving as quickly as possible, really. Whisper, like as soon as it made headlines, we were on it. We have 1,000 hours of data, as I said. So we have all the data that we need to do this evaluation. Really, all we need to do is just get our hands dirty and figure out how to use it. And besides Whisper, we're always just keeping up to date with the latest state of the art. Before Whisper, there was Wave to Letter, Deep Speech, Kaldi. We've explored as many avenues as we can, and we will continue doing that.
Amazing. Everyone's looking for that QR code now. They want to come and be in this environment. It's not the same for everyone. Dimitri,
just
something
want to add, we are a very fast-moving environment. That's what I love about Connex. There's always a buzz about what we do. Fast-moving, like I said, we get on things quickly. We're very agile as well in that respect. You bell us tomorrow, you'll hear us from the same day.
Hi, Chris, this is a question for you. So you spoke about your speech-to-text model being a transformer-based model. So we have other off-the-shelf speech-to-text model like Wave2Vec2. So how does your speech-to-text compare to Wave2Vec2 in terms of metrics and also in terms of the model architecture?
So just to clarify, it's the Whisper speech recognition model that uses the transformer-based. That's transformer-based.
The Wave2Vec2 from Meta.
Yes, and Wave to Letter, I believe, uses convolutional neural networks on the spectrograms actually to do its speech recognition.
That was Wave2Vec1. So Wave2Vec2 got released in 2022.
Are you saying Wave to Vector?
Yes, Wave2Vec2.
Yes, so that's actually something we have not explored yet. And like I said, we're always trying to explore the most recent technology, but we've only got so many people, so we need more people.
So does your speech-to-text model take in direct audio waves, or do you, again, use MEL spectrograms?
Our speech-to-text model actually creates these features called MEL frequency septural coefficients, or MFCCs, in order to do the speech recognition. So there's, as you mentioned, there's a lot of different ways to do that. That's just how ours does.
I thought that all the presentations are great. We were also saying as well, the MAPE was very good from having worked in your world a little bit. So just wanted to give a shout out. We were very impressed. This was actually a question for Nicola about, I think, the Athena coach and how that all comes together, because that's really interesting. I guess my question was, could you expand a little bit more on the architecture of that? And it seems like you have lots of different prompts that you can give the agents. So I was wondering if it's a combination of multiple models or kind of one big thing. So yeah, just really a bit about the architecture of Athena Coach, if that's okay.
Okay, so we've only just started developing it really, so it's just a proof of concept at the moment. But so the first thing it has to do is has to listen along with the call and detect these key moments as well.
Okay.
So listen along. It's got quite a simple model for that. But then we need to decide, is this the time to do a prompt? So that's when we've got our neural network. So it's quite simple. It's just an LSTM at the moment.
Okay.
But it works quite well, to be honest. It's a hard thing to predict because obviously there's a lot of different sales calls. Our agents that I've been looking at typically don't follow scripts. So they can ask the question anytime they want to during the call. So there's no right answer. So it's quite a hard thing to evaluate because when the model predicts this is a good time to ask the question, doesn't mean that the agent has then done it themselves. So it's a quite hard thing to like calculate metrics on. But so we've been using a human evaluation on like checking each prediction, saying is this good or bad time, and I think we're doing quite well on that at the moment.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you.
So thank you all three for your talk. So my question is mostly for Chris or Nicola. First of all, who does the labeling? You spoke about having a labeling team, but how are you performing the labeling? Because clearly this is what powers your models. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's two different types of labeling we do. Well, there's more than two, but there's this labeling for the speech recognition, which is our transcribers, our data annotators, have this whole setup where they are, constantly listening to calls that we've selected to become part of our development set. They're constantly listening to the calls and just transcribing what they hear. And actually, the transcription manager for that team is right behind you, right there, Jamie. Hello. Yeah, but that's it for the speech recognition side of things. But they also do transcription for really anything, or a data annotation for really anything we need.
So I think they spend a lot of their time doing the transcriptions for speech to text. But if we do need labeling, for instance, sentiment analysis, they can spend like 2 weeks just all day, every day labeling sentiment analysis. And there's quite a lot of tools available on the internet, and I think we use different tools, but we've been using one called Label Studio that works very well for labeling.
The great thing about working with time series is that you don't need any annotation or whatsoever. So, yeah.
I'll just add, obviously, we do use other methods, for instance, to speed up the process of the labeling team, like zero shot learning, etc. So, especially when the data isn't balanced.
Amazing, amazing. I will actually start to draw things to a close. We've run over a little tiny bit, but I think it's been worth it. So could I have a quick round of applause, please, for all of the speakers. And then I would just like to say, community. Sometimes people think with community it's just dead easy and people come together and stuff like that, but it's not. It's really hard. And actually, it normally starts with one person who's receptive to it. So in this instance, Dimitri's been a big fan of community. It then takes an organisation to back the person. It then takes people within the organisation to come and share their time, share their knowledge, prepare the talks, and then it takes all of you to come. So I want to say thank you to Dimitri, Connect One, all of our speakers, and all of you for coming along. It's massively appreciated.
Can't agree more with you, David. Thank you.
There we go, mate. We got there. We made it happen, mate. We made it happen.